What is up, YouTube? I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. If you're not, I am sorry to hear that. But if you want to make my day a little bit better, before we even get into this video, please go and smash the like button. It really helps the channel out a lot. And if you're interested in anything in this video, feel free throughout the video to hit subscribe at any time. It's always available. So when it comes to this video, what we're going to be doing is going over individual stocks and handing out grades based on black representation. If you have any questions on how I came up with black representation and why a company got the grade it has, I'll have this chart up the whole time that I'm going over it. And the thing that you need to pay attention to is where I drew the line with adequate representation. If a company has adequate representation, I base it off the population in the United States. So the African American or black community makes up about 13 to 14%. As long as a company is within 3, so I'm going all the way down to 10, that company is considered to have adequate representation on their board. And when I'm talking about board, I'm not only talking about the board of directors, I'm also talking about leadership, anybody that they see as leadership in their company. Why am I doing this? Basically, I wanted to make sure that I was investing in companies that was going to benefit my community as a black individual in America, as well as grow my own portfolio. So this is not the only metric that I use to invest on. I use other metrics as well, but this is just the metric that I'm using to produce this video. Basically, in my head, for a company to be able for me to even look at investing in, it needs to be at least a D, but I would really prefer it to be a C or higher. So I've been going over the QQQ for the last couple of videos. If you're interested in checking out the first video or this series, that link's gonna be up here. Okay, before we let the intro run, make sure you hit that subscribe button again and hit that like button, and then let's get into the video. So guys, this one is kind of tough for me because I had to combine 2 sectors and I still wasn't able to find a company worth investing in out of all of the companies that I'm about to cover. And that's like super hard for me to say because one of my favorite companies of all times is on this list. And if you haven't watched any of my other videos before, that company is Tesla. I personally still own a stake in Tesla, but I own no other stake of any of these companies on this list. And I have recently just sold a big portion of my Tesla holdings because of the lack of black representation. If you want to check out that video and see what I bought instead of Tesla, go to this link up over here. I gotta get used to that, but the link up here. All right, then without further ado, let's start going into these companies. So first we're gonna start with the consumer discretionary. Hope I'm saying that word right. I was practicing off screen and I just came to the conclusion that I might not say it right by the end of me trying for a while. So I just decided, you know what, let's just get into the video and let's go from there. So at the top of the holdings in the QQQ, we have Amazon. Amazon receives a D. Then we have Tesla. Sadly, Tesla receives a D. Then following Tesla, we have Starbucks, and Starbucks also receives a D. Following Starbucks, we have Booking Holdings, which receives a D. Then we have JD.com, which receives an F. eBay, which receives a D. Marriott, which receives a D. Mercado Libre, which receives an F. And Lulu Athletica, which receives an F. And since out of all these companies, I couldn't find one to add to my watch list, and I wanted to stay true to what these videos were actually going to cover, I just decided to add consumer staples to this list as well. So we have 6 more companies to go over that are consumer staples. PepsiCo Inc. receives a D. Costco receives a D. Mandela's receives a D. Walgreens receives a D. Kraft Heinz receives a D. And Monster Beverage Company receives a F. So, sad to say, none of these companies have proper black representation on their boards and leadership. I did want to highlight that earlier in the video I said Starbucks probably had the most black people on their board, but they had a large leadership team and a large board, so it didn't actually equal out to be adequate representation. With all that said, you guys are free to use this metric if you want to in your investing. Obviously there was no companies on this list that we were willing to, that I believe were worth investing in today. And obviously these things can change over time. If you're interested right now and looking for companies that have proper black representation, none of these companies sadly have that. Again, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, go down and hit subscribe. After this series is complete, we're going to cover the Dow Jones, so that's going to be interesting as well. Now, as always, hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Peace.